The Black Fat Femme Podcast is a production of iHeartRadio and DoctorJonPaul, LLC. Hey everyone, welcome to an extra special episode of the Black Fat Femme Podcast, where all the intersections of identity are celebrated. I'm one of your hosts, John, also known as DoctorJonPaul, and I've got a question for you, Queen Joho, Queen Diva. My name is Detective Ferris. You're not in trouble, Boots. We're just trying to get the tea in this situation, and I want to know, is the bus still running?
I live. That shit was so funny. Yes. I was like, what is... Sometimes I hate the internet, but sometimes I love the internet.
It gives when it needs to give.
Stuff. And I'm like, y'all are funny as hell.
Yeah.
I live. Fam, it's your girl, Joho, or Jordan Nasty. And it is most pleasing to me that we're back again, the studio girl, for an incredible show today. Today, I'm trying to get a grip. Good God, I'm trying to get a grip because I can't believe who we have with us.
Yes,
John, just tell us who we got today with us.
I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and say it. So, the secret is out. Y'all already know. Your eyes are not playing any games. They have not deceived you. We are loud and live and in color with one of my favorite all-time queens, Latrice motherfucking Royale.
Burr.
She needs no introduction other than 5 G's, please. And what are they, you ask? Good God, girl, get a grip. Latrice Royale, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Yes,
hi. We're so happy that you're here.
We're so excited. And so we're going to jump off and start our show off like we always do. We ask a question, basically kind of to kick off the show in the spirit of Tisha Campbell and being still here. We are always talking about resilience at the beginning of our show. And so this week I found myself back to listening to Renaissance and Cozy came on. And for some reason, Cozy hit me a little different this time. And I wanted to ask you, while I was listening to the album literally more than a million times, y'all know that is one of my favorite albums of all time. I do want to say the show does hit a little different, especially living in the world that we're currently living in. We know the times are tough. And so when Jesus Christ said, been up, been down, been broke, broke down, bounce back, that made me want to ask y'all, what does it mean to be cozy for you in the moment? How have you continued to bounce back every day? And so I'll start. I'll throw it to you, Latrice, and then I'll go ahead and throw it over to you, Joho. I know for me, I had made some notes and I had said, these last few months have been hard because of the way folks have been trying to make me and others who do DEI, who do this type of work, who's trying to celebrate the intersections of all that we are, feel like our work and our voice doesn't matter. But then, I think about the book that we got to collaborate on, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, child. The feeling of knowing folks are intentionally looking over you and your message because it's not sexy to talk about anti-Blackness, anti-fatness, or anti-queerness. And so, TBH, the first week this was the first week that I actually really cried since November 6th because it just really kind of hit me where we are and what we're all kind of going through. And then I kind of thought about my voice and the platform that I'm helping to build, with us collaboratively, and really just thinking about how my dreams, as much as the shit is still here, my dreams are still coming true. And so that for me is what cozy meant for me. It's like I wrote a whole fucking book and someone I look up to wrote my foreword. That's a dream come true. And so that for me is what cozy meant for me in this moment. So what about you, love?
This is a very timely question because, we all go through things, and I am nothing more than human. And I'll be honest, around my birthday, which was February 12th,
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Yes.
I had the darkest birthday ever. Dark. And, when you get into that dark space, you start telling yourself lies and things.
Yeah.
And you kind of believe them. But, I'm that kind of bitch that I beat those voices down, with a baseball bat.
Okay.
It might take me a couple of, a few hours to do it, but I had to remind myself who I was and the power of me.
Yeah.
And so, that's part of the reason what brought me here to LA that I needed to be around my people. I needed to be around my sisters, my fans, my loved ones, to get re-energized because it gets lonely on the road, all that kind of stuff. When you're doing one queen shows, there's only just you,
Yeah.
But within like when I started snapping out of it and reminding myself who I really am, and then showing myself who I am, and that I am that bitch.
Yes.
I was like, oh, don't believe that those voices. Don't believe that. Like, and for me, it was a reawakening, and I had to remember in real time and real fast that you are that bitch and you are powerful, and so remember the power of your words. And I bounced right back, and here I am, and I'm playing the game and having a good time.
Amen.
I know that's right.
Amen.
Yeah,
I love
right.
it.
That's what we gotta do.
Yeah, I love it. What about you, Joho?
So first, I would say a fresh cut always helps me bounce back. Now, y'all might see on the screen that she got her little do-rag on, but what you don't know, she got a fresh set of braids in this bitch. So I'm going to show you real quick
We got a reveal?
A
reveal, yes. Not a wig, under a wig.
A do-rag reveal.
Not tell Rupaul about this.
Oh,
but
she's
look at the design,
fresh.
girl. Like she is
did
fresh.
that.
Oh, yes.
I mean, she like 4 or 5 days fresh, but like she look good, she feel good, and my braids are too tight for me to give a fuck about anything else right now.
I know that's
I'm like,
right.
No else to bounce back. This tightness, because I'm like
snatch
to the
Just
boys.
snatch.
No, but really, I think I really appreciate this question, John. I think my bounce back really has just been more in creation. Like I feel I am creating more right now than I ever have before, and it's because I am this close to crashing out on bitches. Like, like okay, like JK. I mean, I'm not JK, but I am JK at the same time.
Yeah.
Because there's just so
it's
much
fair.
BS around me, and I'm choosing to create in spite of it rather than desist from creating in fear of it. And so to me, like. I get my balance back by saying I'm gonna make something special, incredible. I'm gonna make something that feels aligned with who I am and my purpose. And that to me is like the ultimate form of balance back, right? Is that I'm trying to not like live in brokenness. I'm trying to get those pieces that have been broken and make gold out of it. Like that little thing that folks do when they put gold in a pot and they fill gold. They put cracks in a pot and fill gold in it and shit. That's little practice. It's like kusanagi or something. I'm telling you, it's the actual name.
I have no idea what that is.
Chris, if it's wrong, bleep the name, but I think it's called kusanagi, and it is a Japanese practice where you.
Okay, I've seen it.
Okay, thank you.
I
Right?
do know what you're talking
okay, I was
about.
like, it's a real thing. It's really
do,
cute. My point
yeah.
is, my pot is cracked made of gold. So
Okay, I know that's right.
We love a
and
gold
we
filled
just
crack.
and we just came off a Leprechaun Day too, right?
Leprechaun
We
Day.
just came off a Leprechaun Day. So I'm living. Okay, all right, y'all. Well, with that being said, we have to pay some bills, and we've got more love to share this episode. So sit tight, and we will be back with more show. Grab a snack and come on back.
we are back, family, and this week the category is we're talking to one of the legends of drag. And I guess I'm going to start the segment by making sure that you get your flowers for all that you've done, Latrice, all you've done and for all that you continue to do. So can I ask you, before we get to the book later, for those who don't know your story, I want people to know you. What made you want to do drag, and why is drag still so important now to you?
I didn't want to do drag.
You said,
I never saw myself getting in no dress, honey. I was like,
She said,
no.
Pads.
These are
What?
my shoulders.
Yes.
You see these shoulders,
Yes.
baby? This is too broad back, honey.
Broad back.
I hate it here.
Baby. And so it was a dare, Halloween. And so I dressed up as Wanda from In Living Color. Hey, I rock your well. Jamie Foxx, shout out to Wanda.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I did. And I thought it was going to be the end of it. And then I wound up doing the amateur drag show at the Copa in Fort Lauderdale. Horrible, bitch. I didn't have there was no Amazon Prime, so I didn't have a size 16 pump, you know. I didn't have a wig. We got creative, but it was not cute. And I went out there and did a lyrical dance at the drag show, and they were like, baby.
Boo.
They said, boo. Exactly. Drink tickets.
Giving performance.
Yeah, no ma'am. So I got 2 drink tickets for participating and a fashion citation. They're like, don't ever wear that
Not
again.
a fashion citation. That is a wild stop. They said you've been pink slipped. You have to stop. Cease and desist.
Screaming. Stupid. A fashion citation.
I just want to let you know I'm having deja vu at this moment, so we're in the right place at the right time. So you know.
Okay, I love that you said that. Thank you for saying that, because when I have deja vu, I constantly am like, this is the affirmation that I'm in the right place, right time.
Okay.
So thank
Just
you.
letting you
Thank
say,
you.
I had to put that out there.
Had to name it. Okay,
Yeah.
I love it.
I might get a tear on that one because I be having dreams about moments like this, and so hearing you say that is really amazing. So
Yeah.
thank you.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. For real.
So you said you did your drag, half drag. No, it's okay. You did half drag. You did quick drag. That's what it was.
Quick drag.
Quick
But
drag.
took
Before quick was a thing.
It took a long time to look that
drag.
bad.
Yeah.
It did. And then so then the following week, I know I can win this contest, right?
Yes.
So
You said I would take these 2 dream
I'm gonna
tickets.
take these dream tickets and like make
Come
them
back.
for use. But my roommates believed in me, and I like color guard people are we support each other.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shout out to color guard.
And so that's what it was. And so they were like, my roommate found me some shoes and a wig, and then I made my own dress from Joanne Fabrics.
Yeah.
honey.
Yes. Shout out to Joanne.
Come on,
I know
Joanne,
she's
honey.
closing. You
She,
she's
she
closing.
came through in a pinch, honey.
Yeah,
Come on
she
now.
did.
I went and got me an old good simplicity pattern, honey,
Yes.
that was around about my size, added some inches to it.
Yes.
It was a hot monstrosity. But I went and I won the contest.
Yes.
I did.
Persistent.
Listen, resourcefulness.
Yes. And
Okay.
then,
Persistent
so
queen.
that was the beginning of the never-ending story because then I found like, there is something there, and I'm a ham, honey. If you gonna scream, I'm like, oh, you like that, and do some more,
Right.
And so here we are, 33 years later, 33 years later. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. 33.
That is a wild.
Ah, that's a good number. Those are good numbers, though.
Yeah.
33, honey. I'm all about that.
It's an angel number.
Yeah, oh yes, it is. Come on now.
those are angel numbers.
Just as a quick follow up, if that's okay, John.
Go ahead.
I'm so curious to ask you, like, because I do like, why do you think drag is important today? But also, I'm curious, like, that moment where that light inside you turned on, like, how else do you hold on to that, and like in this moment right now too?
Oh, it's why I'm still here. It's why I'm here, like currently right now during this tour. It's literally, you have to go back to your roots. You have to go what made you the happiest, and you know what you need that fuels you. And this is what drag is to me. And it's so important now because not only is it a rebellion, it's a celebration, and it's an art, and it has evolved and taken off to places that I never saw imaginable.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we are not just here, but we are thriving and we're inspiring people of all different races and generations and ages and shapes and sizes to be their best and authentic selves.
Amen.
That is what drag is about.
Amen.
It is just
Yes.
like saying, baby, hey, you can be whatever your fantasy is, and it's going to be valid.
Yeah.
If that's how you see you, we going to see you too. But if you look a mess, we're going to tell you look a mess, girl.
Yes.
You're a hot mess, but okay.
Lovingly, you a mess,
I
but
love
go
it for
on,
you.
girl.
We don't have to tell you you're ugly. But
That's shade.
we don't have to tell you. Now you may want to choose a different look next time. Yes. Mona Lisa. But right. We gonna take care of you.
We're gonna take care
We
of
gonna
you.
get you to where you need to go. I love this. So I love that question, Joho, because I think I don't think people really know or understand the importance of, and I say this not to, say it to be, just flippant. I really think, drag, so we're going to talk about, I always say, you'll learn this about me, you probably saw this in the book. I always say all roads lead back to RuPaul's Drag Race. They
really do.
And so I want to say this because I think at the time, RuPaul's Drag Race, so like right now, everyone celebrates RuPaul Drag Race. And I know there's multiple feels and multiple different opinions and thoughts that people have on the franchise. But I think specifically your season, like I want to go back to your season, but not necessarily just your season, but the time. We weren't talking about queerness the way that we talk about it now.
No, not at
We
all.
were not talking about queer culture. We were not talking about Black queer culture. And so I intentionally put this question in here because I wanted to kind of go back to that moment, right? You've been doing drag locally. You have all of these people who kind of know Latrice Royale, but we don't know Latrice Royale. Then you get on this show, and then all of a sudden, it kind of takes off. Latrice is everywhere. I saw you at Riverside. I saw you in LA. I saw you in San Diego. Like you're now in all of my hometowns. And I'm thinking to myself, I would love to ask you, like, can you talk to me a bit about the journey and how it impacted you in your work. Now looking kind of at that historical moment of what RuPaul Drag Race was. It was 2012-ish.
It was.
Yeah. So yeah, around that time.
Yeah. You know, I like you said, I was local and just doing my thing, and then got on the show, and I had no clue at the time the magnitude in which that I was impacting people. I did not know. I was clearly clueless and green. I was just going with the flow and just saying, oh, wow. And I always felt awkward when people would have reactions toward me. Like they would come up and start crying, and I'm just like,
what is this? Yeah.
What did I do? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do anything.
I'm gonna cry.
It was also new to me.
Right.
And then like things started changing. You know, I started having more of a purpose because now I have a platform, and I was fighting for marriage equality.
Yeah.
And that was the thing then. You know what I mean? And so, even though I never saw myself getting married, and that was a whole debacle, people didn't understand what I meant. But it was one of those moments where I felt like, oh, maybe I do have a voice, and maybe I can make an impact, and maybe I can make change happen. So I leaned into that. And then a friend of mine asked me to officiate his wedding. So then I became ordained and then started doing weddings. And as I was starting to travel and doing my shows and sets, I would always include at least one gospel song. We're going to go to church. Whether it's Aretha or Donald Lawrence or whoever, we're going to go to church. And it would move people to frenzy, And I realized that this is my ministry.
Yes.
Drag is my ministry. I realized that this is how I am reaching my people and really, really being able to see them and meet them where Jesus would meet them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whoever your higher power is.
Yeah.
And, you know, it doesn't look like church, but you feel church.
You do.
Because church is inside you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is not, you don't have to go to a building and congregate to have church.
Right.
And so I don't care where it's at. We're going to celebrate because I know I wouldn't be where I am if it hadn't been for my higher power getting me through it. And so that's why drag has become my ministry more than anything. And so it's an important work, and I'm leaning into that, and that's how that all came to be.
Yeah.
I love that so very much because I am someone who definitely believes that you can find the divine in anywhere you go. And I have oftentimes found the spirit at a drag show. I've also found my spirit with my friends. I've found my spirit dancing in the club. So hearing you say your ministry is really special because I think church on the go is actually the best church. Right?
Exactly, right?
And that's so amazing. And I really appreciate you, John, naming how long ago you were on Drag Race, because 2012, right? 2012, I was just graduating high school. I grew up in the Bay Area where the Prop 8 was a really huge thing there, and experiencing that as a kid myself, and then growing up into it, right? And then I started watching Drag Race in probably into 2013. I started watching on season 4, and then I started watching back from there. But it's that time, to your point, was such a different time now, and like access to queer history was not the same. Access to technology is not the same. Access to people knowing who we are is not the same. Drag Race was everyone watches Drag Race now, but Drag Race was secret language at that point, right? It was vernacular that you had that inspired so much today. But you knew someone was cool when they watched Drag Race. You're like, oh, you watch Drag Race too, girl? We're cool. We're underground. And so I'm curious to ask you, right? From that to a show like We're Here, which is so different in the context of how it exists, right? But it's also going to place it in the mainstream in big cities. Drag Race became a mainstay for so many people. But then you have We're Here, which is still reaching people, small towns, which is now a population that people are realizing now that they haven't been reached still. And so I'm curious, that show to me when it first came out was so amazing. And I know the show is ending now, and you were on the last 2 seasons, just the last season. And so I'm curious to ask a 2-part question. What was the experience like being on that show? But also, how was it for you, knowing that you started at such a different time and then you're in this show, more than a decade later?
Well, the show itself, I knew that I was there to do important work. And so I went in with that mindset that I know that I'm going to be called names. I'm going to be meeting opposition. I know that I'm going to be uncomfortable. And this is nothing new to me. I am not a stranger to fighting City Hall for my rights. I have done it like prior to Drag Race. I was working at the Palace in South Beach, and there was ordinance, and we were they were trying to shut us down. So we were in City Hall in full drag, fighting for our rights to perform on the sidewalk. And we won, ultimately. Right. But I'm not scared of anything or anyone. And so I'm for what's right, and I wanted to go make an impact. I didn't want to go and just make a ruckus and leave. That was important to me. I told production that. I said, I don't want to come in here, just ruffle up everything and then leave and then be like, oh, it's up to y'all, figure it out. You know what I mean? That's not what that should be. Right. There should be some kind of resolve. There should be some kind of update. There should be some kind of follow-up, follow through. And I think we did that. We managed to do that. I still talk to my drag daughter, Randy, there. But We're Here was exceptional. It was a very important show, and I'm sad that it's gone. I never expected that that's where I would be. You know what I mean? Like, coming from Drag Race, it's a different animal. Like, it's a completely
the production of it all.
Yeah, like just from the competitive standpoint versus like you're actually doing things that matter. Like, like looking cute on the runway and acting a fool in a challenge.
To like directly being in someone's life and helping them change their life.
And helping them change their life and their surroundings, It was hard. And like, I didn't mind though. I was going to get up in your face and say like, hey, do you want to have a conversation or are you just going to yell at insults and slurs? And that's all they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I feel like you embody like the saying "we're here." In Judaism, there's a Hebrew phrase called "Haneni" that is like "here I am" or "I've arrived." It's a declaration of oneself. And like hearing you speak and like seeing you, and you're seeing you right now in person, having seen you on my screen in so many ways, like you embody what that means. Because like when someone says "Haneni, I've arrived," it's not just saying like, "Oh hey girl, I'm here." It's like my presence is here. And so I want to say like you embody that so much in everything that you do, and it feels so special to be in your presence right now and to be able to hear you speak in this way, because it really like you have profoundly changed so many lives. Like whether you have touched them in like yourself or not, you have impacted so many lives,
real.
And so it's
So
really
real.
like it's just thank you.
Thank you.
I want to get a little bit into the book because like John has a book come out where you wrote the foreword. And I'm curious to ask you so John hit you up and was like, hey girl, I tapped him. Please write the foreword of my book, right? Like, and you said yes.
I took a long pause.
Not me.
You did. There was a moment.
Leaving you on the
they left me on red
3
for a
dots.
minute.
Long pause.
Yeah. So I'm curious to ask you what led you to saying yes when someone asks you a question, someone asks you a thing like that, what goes through your head?
Fear, first of all, because I've never written like formally, and that was intimidating for me, and it was a new territory, and I didn't want to get it wrong, and so I had to take a long pause. I had to talk it over to my husband and rattle some things off, and he was like, babe, like you're golden, you know what you're doing, and then I started writing. And before I knew it, I was like, I had thoughts and things. And so that's when it wasn't until I knew that I can do it that I said yes. And so I was able to get my thoughts together. They were out of order, and then I had to rearrange things and get it all. But it was a process, and I really found out a lot about myself through the process. I tell my story through my One Queen show all the time. But this this sparked some things that I don't touch on in my show because they're so deep and personal. These are the things, the deep cuts that only you know. You know what I mean? Because you know how it is.
Yes, I do.
You know, we didn't call it abuse at the time or bullying at the time because that's just how your family was.
Right.
And it really ultimately was. Your biggest bullies were inside the house.
Yeah.
And it was wild to like have to realize that and go be like, this is what we dealt with.
Yeah, very that. And, you know, I want to say to that, I appreciated you not overcommitting and saying yes and not really feeling like I actually, when you said, let me take a moment to sit with this and then I'll get back to you, I appreciated it so much. And we're going to talk more about again, the impetus of the book in a second. But I was going to say, like, I just wanted to say from me to you, you know, I haven't really gotten the chance to thank you for the intentionality that you put into your foreword because, you know, as I was doing the audiobook and I was reading it, I was like, wow, this is so thoughtful. Like, I can tell, like, you really took your time to really think about what stories and what highlights you were going to share. And as I'm sitting here fighting, there's two emotions that are running. There's the emotion of fangirl, right? Because obviously I'm like your biggest fan, but also there's the other part of me that's like looking at, like I said, a long lost cousin, mother, auntie, like all of those things that I'm sitting with here. I now have that legacy in my legacy, and it makes me like, I feel every time I look at the book, because people keep asking me, how do you feel to have a book? How do you feel to have a book? I'm like, yeah, the book is cool. But I think for me, it's like knowing that you're connected to this for me is like, I feel so fucking special. Like, I feel so special every time I wake up and I look at that book. I go, wow, like there's something there that's so special knowing that you're connected to it. So I can't say it enough. I am so forever grateful that you said yes. So I did want to ask you, the one thing I have been wanting to ask both now, well, there's two things I want to ask. Real quick before we get into this book, I've always wanted to ask you, what was going on in your mind when you was performing Aretha Franklin and Kenya was dancing around you?
Somewhere in the words listening right now, who was like, I've been sitting on this question for 15 years, like waiting for you.
Where was your mind as you were sitting there holding your stomach?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you,
performing the house down, and Kenya was swirling around you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you all a reference at a moment because there is actually a visual cue that I can give you. There's a moment that you'll see me kind of tilt my head down and go like this.
Yeah.
That's when I was going, poor baby.
No shade to Kenya. I want to be clear.
In my head, I was going, poor baby.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking because she did not get it. I was like, oh, no, she don't understand what's going on.
Because on this Song of All Songs, like...
Baby, you 9 months pregnant and you are doing fortes. Girl, Miss Thing.
I'm not doing fortes. Out here pleading and shit, girl.
I'm always like, literally. That's how you know I'm a true fan, because I've been sitting on that question for almost 14 years. I've been sitting on that question like, what is going on?
Baby.
So I wanted to ask you that because I know some of our listeners are probably asking
but
that
also
same question.
The fact that you remember it, you're like, I know exactly what went through my head. You're like, it's in your mind as much as in our mind. Poor baby.
Poor baby.
Yeah, I'll watch it. You'll see my head tilt and I'll be like,
No, get somebody else to do it. I live. So I did want to ask you, you know, I've been wanting to ask, you know, now that we both have the book in our hands, and for those of you who are listening, the book does drop today. So if you have not gotten your copy, you can go get your copy because it is out today. I did want to ask you, and you kind of touched on this in your last response. You know, I said, you know, what has you were talking about like the abuse that you didn't know was abuse, but I was wondering, like, with you having to revisit anything, there's millions of things I can talk about what this book did for me. I wanted to know, with writing or being asked to write the foreword, what was your process like? Like, was there things that you had tucked away and you were like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, all pun intended. Were there things that you had tucked away that you had just said, I'm not going to touch, or I'm going to leave alone? Or were there things where you like, finally, I can actually, like, I can sit with this and I'm okay to talk about it now?
Well, yeah, both of those things happened, I think. I feel like, you know, I had some things tucked away that I hadn't touched on. And after reading and seeing what you had shared, I was like, we are living parallel lives.
Literally.
Really living parallel lives. And so like I felt inclined and inspired actually to join you. I felt like you kind of opened the door for that.
Yeah.
And there was a safe space for me to just go ahead and put it out there. I'm an open book, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything to hide per se. If you ask me, I will tell you. And whether it's your business or not, I will also let you know.
Yeah.
But like, for the most part, if there's something that I feel like can help someone, if my testimony can help someone, then why not share?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how the healing begins.
Yes. That's so real. That's so real. And I think this is a great, talking about testimonies and talking about the stories we have to share. This is a great way to kind of put a cute bow, because again, it's just a bow or just a comma on the conversation. I would, again, please, it's and I'm not even saying this because I'm the one who wrote the book. I think the book really speaks to the time that we are in and really speaks to this idea of finding what I've been saying, finding your audacity, right? You every day you put on you say I put on a dress and I go out on the stage. No, there's more than that's audacity. You're taking up space that genuinely is not meant for big black girls to be on a stage, right? To say I'm going to be on a television show, to say I'm going to use my full voice, that's audacity. And so I would love to ask you, kind of to that point, what closing advice can you give us regarding the importance of staying true to yourself in a time where everyone is trying to silence or get rid of you?
It's so important that you embrace everything, every aspect about yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly. Take the power away from the haters and naysayers. What you speak has power. And so when you put that out there in the universe, it is so. And so if you're putting out that you are the baddest big bitch in this world, then it is so. Yeah. And I said that first episode.
Yeah.
And it is so. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So like never ever dim your light for anyone who's insecure about their own.
What was we talking about on the way here? We were talking about that in the car, but go off.
It's like I'm not here to make you comfortable.
Amen.
I'm not here. My existence is not here for you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Like, so if my light is too bright, get some shades, bitch.
Okay.
Or umbrella.
Go to sleep. Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Take a nap.
Whatever.
Right.
But what's not going to happen. Yeah. Because all this is about to bust loose.
Amen. Amen. Can I ask, so just a random off-topic question, what is your favorite song to do in your set? If you had to look and you said, I'm going to do this song tonight because it's my favorite to do.
Well, my Aretha mix, my Aretha medley is my go-to. Like, I know without a doubt is going to shut the building down.
Okay.
So no matter what,
right.
Like, that's my staple. That's my legacy.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here lately, I'm seeing so many videos being shared of the way I lip sync, and because it's becoming a lost art.
Yes.
And it's more evident than ever now.
Amen.
Because there's a difference between moving your mouth around to other people's music and embodying the song. And so that's what's been missing, and I didn't realize that that's what people are craving. So I'm doing what I'm doing because I love to do it, but it's also timely and people are needing it.
Yeah.
And it refills me, and I'm glad it refills them as well.
Amen.
So
I thank you for saying that, because everyone is focused on being the most beautiful girl and dancing around and stuff, and I'm like, give me grit, girl. Like, I want to see performance. And you bit bop around the corner is not gonna do anything for me. Like, I need to know that you know the words and that you feel the word. I see every episode. I'm like, this is not the same. So when people say I really miss the previous seasons, they mean, I know because what they mean. I know what they mean. I'm putting it down. So yes,
they don't make them like
they don't make them like y'all no more. Period. That is a Facts.
Well, it's like Vogue, right? So there's the old way and there's the new way of Vogue, right? And the new way of Vogue is cute. A couple of drops and a couple of, kiki and spins are cute, right? But when you really know, and again, I'm not professing myself to be, some scholar in drag or anything. I know people who are, but or not in drag. I mean, in ballroom. What I'm saying is, I think there's just this sense of like there's this urgency of it being a craft that is lost. Yes. And I think kind of the same thing with podcasting,
yes, a
right?
craft, not a gig.
There's a difference. It is a craft, not a gig. And I think a lot of the girls are just doing it because they think of it as quick funds.
Yep.
But I'm also looking at it and I'm going, when you look at you, when you look at Mayhem, when you look at Morgan McMichaels, when you look at, all of the girls that have come out, not even just Drag Race, there are still some local queens that I look at and I go, you don't need Drag Race because you are drag. The art you have is enough. You don't need that to profess that. So I can go on a soapbox for days.
There's a reason they still say your name.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in this chair.
And not everyone, and like no shade, but not everyone has that. And there's a reason why, because you give everything.
Yes.
Everything to all of us. So,
what a moment.
Okay, y'all.
What a moment.
Silence. Listeners, while you untuck in the Interior Illusions Lounge, the host and our guest will discuss our favorite problematic gospel singer.
Yes.
More in just a sec. Yeah.
We are back and black. So with that being said, so sometimes on this show, we talk a lot about food.
Amen.
And this moment is no different.
Yes.
This week, we're jumping into what's on our plates, and we would be remiss if we did not bring our good sis to the conversation. So this week, Miss Royale, what I'm going to ask is this. I wanted to ask because while we have talked about hometowns on the show, we talked about our hometown in the book, we have not talked about our favorite hometown meal spot on this show. Oh, yes.
Oh.
We have not. And so I wanted to ask, you're close to your hometown being here, right? Compton is only a couple of minutes away. You're a teen, so I want to put us in a scene, right? So when did you move to Florida, if I mind you?
91. Well, I moved to Florida in 92.
Okay, and how old were you?
But I moved away in 91.
Okay.
I was 19 when I left.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put ourselves back in our 14, 15-year-old bodies.
Okay.
And we are teenagers and we're hungry, the house down, boots. Where are we going to eat at? That is the question that I would like to ask.
This is our journey.
Where are we going to eat at? For me, I'll go ahead and take it, and then I'll throw it to you. Or if you need more time, you can let us know.
I got you.
Okay, you got it.
Say less.
Latrice said, I'm ready. I'm ready. So for me, I'm in San Bernardino. I got a little bit of change in my pocket. I'm going to go to Little Dragon. It was this really dope Chinese Asian fusion situation. I didn't know it was fusion at the time because I was poor, but I just knew it was good. I didn't know what it was, but it was good. Then there was H Salt. Are you familiar with H Salt? It's a fish spot. Nobody?
No.
H Salt? Nobody knows? Okay, H Salt was off of Waterman. We speak your name. Amapola is a Mexican food spot, or we have the Taco Bender. Now, if I'm on a budget and I'm broke, I'm going to Del Taco or Baker's. Now, people don't know that Del Taco is a Inland Empire staple. If you are from the IE,
okay,
you're a Del Taco girl. Same with Baker's. Baker's is very much you're gonna get yourself a budget meal. And the fries, my God, the fries. I love a good crinkle fry because obviously I'm chubby, but a good. Do you enjoy? Yes. Do you love a crinkle fry?
I do love a crinkle fry.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, I'm just wondering because some people.
I love fries in all shapes and sizes. Okay.
Baby,
I don't discriminate. Okay,
but
listen,
baby, waffle.
Yes, you said it at the same time.
I like you just lost air on that
one. Baby, we see each other, honey.
I am screaming. This is why I love this show so much. I am screaming. Okay, so I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna pass it. And then if I'm broke, I'm gonna go to In-N-Out because I know it's cheap. However, In-N-Out is not that girl. People give In-N-Out a lot.
Never will be.
But she ain't that girl. You want to know who is that girl? Is Gus's and Gus Jr. If you ever get into the IE, ask him what about Gus.
We passed the Gus's on the way
We
here.
did.
And I was like,
we did.
So on the way out, we've been
and we can. But Gus and Gus Jr., they are those girls, and their burgers, in my opinion, are if you think, I don't know where you like your burgers from. I know people are like, oh, Five Guys is the best burger, blah, blah, blah. No, Gus's, they got the best burgers. So that's for me. So what about you, Latrice?
Okay, I'm just gonna have to go piggyback real quick and just say this about In-N-Out.
Yeah.
I don't trust no place that don't got bacon. If I can't put bacon on my burger, I'm out.
I don't want it. Yeah.
But okay, I don't remember whether the name of this. It was like a little grocery store.
Okay.
A little market. It was either Johnson's or Robertson's or something like that in Compton. It was like this little storefront, pink in the hood.
Yeah.
Little market.
Yeah.
My mother would take me there, and in the back they had like a deli. But they had burgers. They would make burgers.
Yes.
Oh, my
Baby,
Lord.
when I tell you this was the best, greasiest, seasoned beef burger, my mother would take with her. We would get bacon cheeseburgers there and fries. And when I tell you it was the best burger, I haven't had a burger that good since.
I believe it.
Like, I don't know what, but they seasoned the meat. Like, you got me at seasoned meat. And then, so that was like one of our spots. And our other spot, because we always ate, like, because it's Sunday and in between church services, because you in church all day.
Right.
All day. Did I mention all day?
How long?
All day.
All day.
Baby, we got there at 10 o'clock that morning, and we are still at church at 10 o'clock that night.
Can I go home?
Baby, I'm tired.
Even
How much
Jesus
praise
is
it?
tired.
Jesus said, bitch, let me
off.
sleep.
It's Sunday, and he was
Oh my
off.
God.
Like,
He said, I'm clocked out.
Baby.
Yes. Can
But
we
we
get
would-
some rest?
she would take me, either it was Tams or Tommy's.
Right. Tommy's. Yes.
But
Tommy's
see,
is still good.
Okay, but no, it's not
Oh.
the same. Because I'm telling you, I was trying. Because we would go to get the French dip pastrami.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And baby, the way they used to, they would soak the bun, and then they would get all that good pastrami, and they would stuff it. I mean, pack it.
Yeah.
And get the mustard and the pickle in there. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the best pastrami. And like with the little butcher paper and everything's just greasy and running down your arm. That was a sandwich.
Yeah.
I have been longing for that ever since.
Yeah.
And I be coming to California. I'm like, I gotta find me a pastrami.
Yeah.
And I think I found one that's close to it, but it was still
Who
not.
are we gonna name?
Yeah.
We gonna name him?
It's Johnny's Pastrami's.
Okay. That's not, okay.
Y'all heard
Okay,
it?
It's
I
in
have
the
not.
name, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
not. I was gonna say there's a place near me, and I could see the logo, but it's yellow, and I can't say the name of it. But there is a good place with their chili fries and their pastrami's are really good. And when I figure out what the name is, I'm gonna send it to you.
So please do, because
Yeah.
I love a good pastrami.
I want to live.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. Let me set the scene for y'all real quick. I'm 13 years old. Intersections of my town, Dakota and Avalon Niles. I'm going to give y'all a square mile experience of a full day of eats.
Okay.
You begin the day going to Baldy's Cafe, which is next to 7-Eleven. So it's a little liquor store, a little like strip mall thing. Baldy's Cafe, hole in the wall place, institution, been here longer than I've been alive. So I said, let's go check it out. You get yourself a little Western omelet. And honestly, any omelet, but I love me a little Western omelet with a thick cut piece of French toast.
Okay.
That French toast, I don't know what they put in that bread or that butter or that syrup. Ooh, that will hold you down all day. If you're not a hungry bitch. If you're a hungry bitch, you're going to have lunch as well, too.
Right.
But the French toast, fire. Then, traverse yourself down, a little bit down Avalon Niles to Rose Garden for a Chinese chicken salad. Y'all better get you one of these. What's that? A chicken salad.
Chicken
from Rose
salad
Garden. Because
from
that shit
Rose.
was fire. When I tell you, people, the Chinese chicken salad, I don't know if it's authentic or not, but the way they made it, oh my! They had little crispies on there. The sauce was sauce. They get a little plum sauce for the dressing.
Yes.
The chicken was right.
My God.
So
I
good.
promise you they didn't have it in China.
Tragically, they
I
said
am
we're not doing
almost
that.
certain.
I
promise
am
you.
almost
Yes,
certain they have
almost
not.
certain
American
Yes.
shit.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yes.
But that
Very
family
bad.
went in place, girl. Fucking me up the chicken every day.
Yes.
Then, when you have when the Addis hits, but you said, I need a little sweetness to the day.
I need a
You then go to the OG spot, Tapioca Express. That was before all these bubba bitches, okay? This was the OG spot. You have Share Tea, Dean Tea, Bleen Tea, all these teas. But Tapioca Express was that girl. And the only girl that was in that place. And she was open day and night. You be there at 11 p.m. Hoes out here doing fucking donuts and their sports cars and shit for this place. This was the spot you get you a little tar milk tea. Okay, a little bubble tea moment, and then you get a little snacky snack. Whew, girl. I've been a boba boy since I've been 5 years old. This shit it's so...
Are you a boba girl? Do you do boba?
Is that the little bubble things?
No,
I be choking and shit. I be thirsty. Baby, I ain't got time for that. Man, I'm trying to quench my thirst.
All I'm saying that I've been liking balls in my throat since I was 5 years
old.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Okay. Now for dinner. Okay. Now,
I hate it here.
Now for dinner. Now, if you're trying to be quick and good, you can go down to Mr. Kebab, where they have the best Turkish Mediterranean meats.
That's where you lost me, because you know how I feel about Mediterranean
I know you do, but it's about
Nope. I'm not eating it. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
We can go escape with the Or
for me,
are you also on the
No, I'll do a kebab and a shawarma.
See, because the shawarma is fire, and
see,
and the baklava got you baklava. It's so good, so bomb. You live it. But if you want a little elevated experience, you like the sushis. Now this time you have to get into the car and go to Satomi Sushi in Fremont.
I'm back.
That place rolls innovative, flavor on 10. Experience amazing. Get yourself a nice dragon roll, and for dessert, green tea tempura.
Oh.
Now, if you get a little tempura ice cream, but green tea, girl.
Say my name, say my name. Yeah.
Y'all are too much.
You will not.
I love
you will not be displeased now. If you're on a budget, you have two options. La Tacteria on the corner, which is also delicious. You give yourself a little quesadilla, or Taco Bell, which is the bitch I grew up with. That's my shit. But that's a whole day in my hood.
Are you a Taco Bell girl?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Sponsor the show, Taco Bell. But go ahead.
Any time of the day.
My husband a lot more than me. Like when we were first dating, and I would talk to him, and he was in Tennessee, I was here. Whatever. But every time I talked to him, he was in the Taco Bell drive-thru. Every time.
See me.
He would come from church or whatever because he was a musician.
I love that for Chris.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
If we go out somewhere and we're driving back home, is there a TB on the way back?
Yeah.
There is not. I want
Taco Bell. He's good.
That's all I want. A bean burrito and a little some the chips and the little chips and queso.
I'm a chalupa girly.
Chalupa. I mean, listen, I'm just coming against nothing. Chalupa, gordita.
He likes gorditas, but now they don't have gorditas.
Crunch Supreme.
He has the Gordita Crunch.
The Gordita Crunch.
Yeah.
No, they're gone. They changed their whole menu after the pandemic.
They did. No, I will say the grilled cheese burritos. That's my shit.
Yeah.
I'll fill that up anytime, any day. Ooh, that is so good.
Yeah. I just
that
question. So, coming from Compton, were you or did you remember Pioneer's Chicken? Did you ever do Pioneer's Chicken?
Pioneer and Golden Bird.
Golden Bird. Okay, that my mom was a Golden Bird.
Golden Bird. That I don't know how they got that crust, but it was. Yeah. It was really like
is that
golden.
Yeah.
Like. It was really golden.
Burgers was golden.
Yeah, it was golden. It was greasy as hell though, but it was so good.
Pizza, burger,
it's chicken.
It's chicken.
Golden Bird.
Chicken.
Yeah. Pioneer and Golden Bird had a lock on lock.
Yeah.
I'm a true Compton girly too. You know this, right? I grew up half of my life in Compton, and so very much my family was like, we going to Goldenberg or we're going to Pioneer. We don't mess with who was the other one? Churches. Churches. No.
They cut their meat funny.
Yeah.
Like what kind of what shape is this? Is this the back?
Yeah. We did
what in the tail feather?
Yes. It was very much churches is using a rush. It was very much giving.
They're better now. They've turned it around.
Yeah. Turn it around, Mimi. Turn it around.
Yes. All these references, I'm screaming. I love it. Okay, with that being said, now that y'all have a whole entire California food tour list, we have to pay Uncle Scam, and when we get back, it'll be time for y'all's favorite segment. Yes, ma'am, and no, Mam Pam will be back in a sec. All right, y'all. So with that being said, we're going to get into y'all's favorite segment, which is Yes Ma'am, No Ma'am, Pam. This is where we either celebrate something that we love or that we're looking forward to or that we see out there in the world that we want to celebrate, or we ultimately throw with No Ma'am, we throw flowers at it and we basically let people know.
But dead flowers.
Right, dead flowers. Not the
nasty.
beautiful
Okay,
ones.
yeah.
Yes, the ones that are rotting.
Wilted ones. Yeah. Rotted.
Yes,
Gutted.
girl. So with that being said, my Yes Ma'am this week, I wanted to note William Keating, who stood up for Senator Sarah McBride. Now, I don't give white straight men too many flowers on this show, but I definitely do want to say that I appreciate, like, I hear this a lot in my day-to-day as I'm working. People are like, how do I mirror allyship? How do I mirror how to be an accomplice? Watch that video. That is a great example of how you mirror being an accomplice to somebody who is LGBTQ and is being attacked. They made it very simple. They said, what do you mean? You're going to get it correct. If you don't get it correct, then I'm leaving and we won't shut this shit down. And that's exactly what William Keating did. He shut that whole meeting down because Sarah McBride was being misgendered. And so that for me is a quick 2-minute lesson in how you be a true accomplice in this work. And so I just want to give some flowers to him for that. Okay. And anyone else who's out there standing up for LGBTQ people in moments where they know that LGBT people are being attacked. So that's my Yes Ma'am this week. Now, my No Ma'am, Pam, I was initially going to talk about this last week, but it's a twofold one. And it is also twofold because they're one and the same. So I wanted to say Southwest. I got words. I don't. But I also don't want to come off as elitist. So what I will say is, you are Southwest companies that are doing these things to get more money out of people. You are screwing over a lot of people people go to Southwest because it's affordable. And so to think now that you're now charging extra for baggage. You know, I always remember,
which is wild.
Yeah,
especially because the CEO was like, "We'll probably never do that."
Right,
and then did it the next year.
And then did it the next year. Right. It's just like capitalism knows no bound. But I will always remember hearing a story of a woman who I was on a Southwest flight. I was going to Las Vegas. She was explaining to, I think, her seatmate why she was taking the flight and how she was so happy she could get on Southwest because she could afford it. And, and it was a really interesting story to hear. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people who use Southwest because that's literally what they can afford. And I know their Spirit and I know all these other places, but it really sucks to see companies really hunker down on capitalism, and I just really wanted to say fuck you, Southwest, for that. So you're like, ooh, these brand deals going out the window. The other one, what I want to talk about is I want to say hotels that charge you a lot of money, but the Wi-Fi is shitty. Why am I paying $349 a night and I can't watch my good shows?
You can sell one line.
I am missing amazing,
especially if I'm paying for the Wi-Fi as well.
Sorry. I just wanted to put my hands out, especially if I'm paying for the Wi-Fi too. I'm missing Amazing Race at this moment because your internet is trash, and Southwest, your internet is also trash. I also don't think you're out of you're out of it.
Wait, because Southwest also was very fat girl friendly.
It was, and they took that away as well too.
And
I was like,
yeah.
They said, fuck all you fat bitches, fuck all you broke bitches, you ain't getting shit back.
Fat bitch.
It's really
the big hole. And here, the seatbelt extension too. $20.
Let your rolls hang out all the good damn day.
They said you big bitch. You have to pay for both these seats. But 2026, girl, there will no more 2 seats. So Southwest and your shitty air fare prices, the bags, the Wi-Fi, anybody with just shitty Wi-Fi in general, please,
and this day and age,
I can't.
I will say, because I don't know that they have us out here, but in San Diego, you can do your parking meters on app online, and so I'm like, clearly the meters got Wi-Fi. So why do you not have Wi-Fi in the hotel like this? Clearly the meter can track my payment from 3 miles away, right? But you can't give me the Wi-Fi from upstairs?
Yeah, girl. Nah, girl. Nah, girl. And I want to call, I'm not calling them out. I want to call them in. La Quinta, I just had to stay with you for a training. We can talk. Your Wi-Fi needs a little bit of help. La Quinta, I want to talk.
It's in the name, though.
Courtyard.
All tea, all shade.
All tea and all shade. I didn't pay for it. I just want to make that very clear that I was there for a retreat. I didn't pay for it. But La Quinta, I'm gonna need you to step it up. But anyway, all that to be said, that's my no ma'ams. What about you, Joho?
I'm so screaming. It's in the name. I was like, damn, don't come with La Quinta like that. The little free breakfasts are good. I was like, listen.
Bitch, let me also talk about this. So I'm also put you on game. So did I tell y'all that a lot of these restaurants are now charging you a surcharge for fucking eggs? Did I say that on the air?
I am buying an omelet never again in my life.
Okay, so bleep this, Chris, because I actually like this place. Charged me $1 surcharge for eggs.
What they got eggs for?
Where else did I go recently? And the nigga was like, "Here's an additional
$1 surcharge."
That is crazy.
I went somewhere else
wild.
recently. But yeah, so this brings me to my point. So then again, go to this company retreat. La Quinta is the place where we're staying. No shade, I understand budgets, right? Everybody's on a budget. I get it. When we're checking in, one of the people that I was with had said, "Oh, we have breakfast. They're like, "Yeah, but just FYI, we're not doing eggs with breakfast anymore. We're doing bacon because of the whole eggs." So I'm like, who wants bacon and sausage with a waffle? I want eggs with my waffles. So they substituted.
The breakfast, they said, we're subbing eggs for bacon.
Yes.
Because that makes
equivalent.
sense. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent substitute.
In case you didn't know.
I'm screaming.
So yes, that happened. That really happened. So I just want to put that out there that you are being surcharged for eggs and you are being, we're living in the eggless world.
Can I also say just to be honest, because I actually am mad about this. Because one, there are several egg products you can use, like Just Egg, which is actually delicious and you can use it as vegan. Another saying that's a great alternative, but like you could use that, and also like you can use tofu. Like, there's other things you can do for eggs besides like just bacon. Like there's just like designers make it work.
Right.
Also, I have a bunch of with people who charge for egg whites. Let me just because you have me hot. Because my biggest the bane of my existence when I go to a restaurant and ask for egg whites, they charge you like $4 for an upcharge.
Yeah.
For less egg.
Yeah.
Girl.
Because you're not getting the yolk. You're just getting the egg white.
It's not.
What are they doing with the yolks?
I mean, but am I paying for waste disposal? Girl, go put it in the holiday sauce. Have a good damn day.
Right.
Don't ever charging me for the yolk disposal. Girl, what that diamond trainer goes. I am so mad. Okay. Anyways, who you got me hot about this? So my yes ma'am. So I have two yes ma'ams. My first yes ma'am is to Latrice's phone screensaver because it is of herself, and I just want to name. I just want to name. I also mine is also myself on my phone.
I know that's right.
People clog me and like who has themselves on their phone? I'm like, bitch,
I'm
like a real bitch.
Yeah. What?
Listen,
Yes.
because most hoes have their mans, the girls, their cats, the dogs, a fucking picture of a skyline. Bitch, I got me. Okay,
That's what
I love
look at.
myself.
Yes.
That's all I need. This is me. I need it, y'all. So yes, me into that. So I was I
like,
support
is
that.
that
I said,
that
oh, she got
do?
herself. Yes, me into that. My second yes, ma'am, is to Mariah Carey at the iHeart Awards.
Oh, Mariah.
Because, so one good girl you deserve. What was it? It was the Icon Award. But I just live for her facial expressions because
she wasn't feeling Tory or Money Long. She didn't like any of them.
Like they call her like it's like she smiled on cue, but then like it quickly faded, and and she was like, and like they didn't realize that they were filming for too long. I'm like, but Tori was objectively fantastic. Like I thought she ate that one. Like Tori was. It was amazing.
So have you ever seen that gif of, or I would say clip of Prince when they were doing the tribute to Prince and he was throwing them shady looks?
Yeah.
That was very much what Mariah was giving.
She was
in real time.
In real time.
They're belting their hearts out. Yep. And she's like,
She wasn't having it. She wasn't having it. Yeah.
I was living. I was like, man, Mariah is taking me out still. My no Mam Pam is, okay, did you hear about the gold card?
No.
So.
Oh, wait. Yes, I did.
The immigration gold card?
Yep, I sure did.
Wild as hell. I just cannot do this country
You don't know
anymore.
about that?
No.
Okay, so basically, the administration had announced, and I don't know if it's true or not, but at the State of the Union address a few weeks ago, they had announced that in addition to a green card, one could buy a gold card to get into the country. Yes, but like millionaire status. They'll just come in and pay taxes essentially, but they can buy their citizenship. And I'm just like, that is disgusting.
It's
like,
real.
That is so gross. You out here denying people for citizenship for every other reason, but you said if you can spend $1 million to buy your way in, then you're good to go.
Yep.
Girl, what?
But what did I say earlier today? There is no more like I don't want to get on a soapbox, but I was just saying that there is no moral compass. To evil.
Listen.
There is no moral compass. So while I'm surprised, while I'm shocked, I'm not surprised.
Also, one more yes, ma'am. I watched Paradise. Was it you?
I've been watching it. Yeah, it's good.
8 down. I thought the acting fantastic, the storyline fantastic. Sterling K. Brown's booty fantastic. Everything about it fantastic.
I know his wife, so I got to be careful about what I say about Sterling.
Listen,
because me and her are good friends.
Listen, girl, I love you, and you did that.
I love you, Ryan. I love you, Ryan.
You love that man down. That was good. Listen, if I was her, I'd be like, I know my man's ass is nice, and I know that people like it, and that's good. Like that's hers right there.
But I also know they kids too. So
JK, never mind. Chris, but that well because I love Ryan.
You can keep it.
No, don't
they're friends of mine.
Because I love Ryan, and I want her to be my friend because I love her so much since First Watch Club. So Ryan, if you hear this, know that it's I say it in appreciation, of what you've done.
Yes.
That's all. And if you hate it, it's okay. If you hate it, my name is not Jordan. My name is actually Jacob. And you can cease and desist Jacob Daniels.
Cease and desist Jacob. That is correct. Your yes ma'ams and your no ma'ams. Mama.
Okay, so I can yes ma'am like a word or
it could be
an act
anything.
of something.
Anything you want.
So I'm gonna yes ma'am inspiration.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
And partly because you have inspired me, whether you know it or not.
Oh, honey.
So I want you to know that. And I say that because I am a procrastinator by nature.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
I thrive in chaos.
I'll get around to it. I'm so busy. Blah, 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 blah. But then I found myself sitting at home and I was taking a little break before I came out here and realizing that I had been talking about doing things and developing a new show for myself.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like a television show.
Wow.
So me and my husband sat down and wrote the treatment for it.
Oh my goodness.
So
Good. Yes.
Progress.
I love that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So be on the lookout because I am going to be shopping this around and we're going to try to get this pilot going. I want to get it all going.
Please.
But I have been inspired and also to start working on my book. I have 3 ideas for books now all of a sudden. And so where as I had 9, I am suddenly like floodgates are opened and I have a lot to say. And
I love it.
So here's to inspiration. Yes, ma'am, to that.
Thank
yeah?
You. Yes.
Okay. So I had to do that. And my no ma'am, bitch, okay, let's get to it. CV motherfucking S, okay? Girl, please. Okay, I went to the CVS the other day ago. Okay, I made a post about this because I was hot to trot, bitch. I went in there and I gathered items that I can carry within my 2 hands.
Now that you mentioned
2
that, I mentioned
of
that.
Shit.
Yes.
Baby, it was 6 items. I got a bag of popcorn, some baby lashes that I would normally not even wear.
Right.
But it was, I was like, oh, I'm going to be on camera. Let me get the little lash.
Yeah.
Baby, okay, so I got the lash, 2 packages of makeup wipes. And something else. What else did I get?
I don't know,
Aquaphor.
Yes.
Hand look. Yeah. 75.46.
I'm laughing because I saw your post and you said, guess how much this was?
Yes.
In what
and
world?
I was screaming.
75 whole dollars?
Yes, I saw that.
What?
Yes.
Bitch.
And the gag is, when you be traveling, there's a part of you that's like, bitch, this is so much money. But then the other part of you was like, you need it.
You need it. I gotta have it.
Like, bitch, you got it. You need it.
I went in there specifically because I needed these things. I was like, I'm not going to even get anything. I didn't need the popcorn. I didn't need the popcorn, but I wanted it.
Set you back.
The caramel cheddar mix.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one.
It's the only way to do it.
And so, bitch, I didn't need the popcorn, but still, that wasn't the bank breaker, bitch. It was everything
fucking
else.
Aquaphor. It's probably $20.
Oh,
girl,
Advil.
for real.
Advil.
Oh, that's what took
that
you
was
to 70.
$20.
God damn, a bitch wants some tension relief. God damn.
Heaven forbid I can walk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I take Advil like vitamins, baby. It's a mandatory. I get ahead of the pain.
Yes.
You know?
I know that's right.
Very bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that.
That is.
Yeah. CVS will get you,
You have
Walgreens,
some nerve.
Rite all
The
of
pharmacy's out here pharmacying the worst way.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
them. Yeah, you be literally choked every time
Like,
you $10.99.
Pharmacy me with them hands, okay?
Baby, catch me outside. How about that?
Yes, my God. But yes, so we don't speak your name, CVS. We don't speak your name. All right. So with that being said, I know we have to wrap up, and this has been honestly. I'll say this before I jump into the all of the stuff we say before we wrap up the show. This has been soul reviving in the best way. Thank you, Latrice, for making the time. Thank you, Latrice, for all that you do. Thank you, Latrice, for all that you are. I don't know if enough people hear this or know this, or I don't know if you hear this enough about yourself, but you know, I again, I've always followed you. I've always been watching you, and it is such an honor to know you. It is truly, from the day that we met, it has been just such an honor to know. In the back of my mind, I always think, if Latrice can do it, I can do it. And I just really, really want you to know that. And so I'm just grateful is not even the word. I'm just so grateful to know you. And I'm just so thankful that you could be with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
My God.
You are a blueprint, truly. Like, you are a blueprint for so many of us.
Yeah. And the dolls. And I'll say this too. The dolls who are quick, I'm sure they probably don't listen to this show, but there are girls out there who are quick to talk shit about anybody and everybody in drag. Sit down and learn something.
Amen.
Sit down and learn something. I think we can, and this is where my practice has been. In my mind, instead of me being so quick to critique people, I try to sit down and go, what can I learn from them? What can I? And so that for me is, instead of me looking at my sister and trying to critique them for what they do and don't do, I look at my sister and I go, what can I learn from Latrice? And what I have learned from you, beyond the word of resilience, I have learned the importance of taking your craft seriously. I have learned the importance of saying, like you said, speaking words having power. Like, this is all of this is manifested.
Yep.
You know, all of this was manifested. And so like I said, really before you critique someone, take a moment, learn from somebody, and go back to season 4 and watch and get your life. If you are not in the season 1 through 5 of Drag Race, you're not a true Drag Race girl.
True.
Okay.
You are not a true Drag Race fan. All right, y'all. Please send us your thoughts, your feedback, and email to blackfatfempod@gmail.com. You can also send us your thoughts via social media by interacting with us on Instagram, Blue Sky, not that other website or not that other app, and TikTok by using the handle blackfatfempod. Latrice, where can the dolls find you?
I'm Instagram at Latrice Royale, and Facebook Latrice Royale, and then I have a TikTok. But it's Latrice Royale Inc.
Okay.
Because I am incorporated.
That's right. Business.
I'm barely there. Girl, I don't know how to do that. I'm so old.
You sound like my birth father, but go off. Barely there.
Damn. Wow.
I wasn't ready for that one at all.
Go off. Y'all weren't ready.
Done.
Y'all was not ready.
Oh, she's speechless.
Yes. Gooped, honey. Gooped. Queen Joho, where can the dolls find you?
Well, just Latrice, did you finish your more?
No, that's all. That's
Okay.
it. I barely do that. Like your father.
I am screaming. Oh, do you have any April dates, or when does your tour end?
I'm only here the rest of the month. But
Okay.
it looks like I'm coming back in a couple of weeks, like in the mid-April. Like
Okay.
April, the week of the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th
Okay.
September.
Okay, sounds good.
So I might be here that week.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I
Yeah,
plugged
yeah.
that too.
If you find the dates before the next week, then we can put it in
I'll
the
let
show
you know.
notes.
Yeah, we'll put them in the show notes.
Yeah, come on. Of course, you can find me at Joho Dance across all socials, because if I'm anything, I'm nothing besides consistent. So Joho Dance across all socials. My website, JoDaniels.com. And if not, there you will find me seated tonight, because tonight is March 25th at the Plus Bus Boutique in Los Angeles, watching my girl talk about her book with our good sis, Dexter Mayfield. If you aren't there, I will question you, like, why didn't you come? And if you are there, I will still be like, why are you here? But also...
What?
Why is you here?
No. If you are here, I'll say, where's your book?
That part.
Where's your book?
Got to bring your book, honey.
Okay.
Yes, please. Got to bring your book. Come on down. Yes. And all that information is in the show notes. So if you have questions about the initial launch, feel free to come by. But other than that, with that being said, for me, you will find me at your favorite bookstore and on tour. My tour kicks off March 25th. March 31st will be in Portland. And then after that, we go to Austin. Or actually, no, we go to New York, and then we head over to Austin. So you can catch me on a tour where I will be uplifting everything great about Latrice Royale and our story and why it's so important for y'all to be reading this book and to be connected with it. But yeah, you can find more information. So for those of you, you probably looked at my social. I put out a little just kind of feeler of where we're going to be and who we're going to be in conversation with. But if you want the full list of the tour, it is at my website, www.DoctorJonPaul.com, and also on all of my socials. You'll be seeing everything about that, Dr. John Paul. With that being said, we can just wrap it up here. We want to thank our producer, Bay Wang, for handling all the logistics, and everyone over at iHeart Media. I'm so excited because I actually get to talk to Will later today, for keeping the show up and running. We would also like to shout out our wonderful editor, Chris Rogers, because without him, we wouldn't have a show. Thank you, Chris, for all you do. We also want to continue to let folks know that there are visuals on the tube of you. So head over to our YouTube page, watch the visuals with us. You'll get to see Latrice. If you're listening to this, head over and watch that episode. It was a fun kiki to be in a community together. With that being said, it's been another show. Stay black, fat, femme, and fabulous. And remember what, Joho?
We may not be your cup of tea, but girl, drink some water. You probably need it
your
anyways.
Ass probably need it anyway. Yes. Your knees and your elbows is ashy. I love us for real. Bye.
Bye, Ashy.